Hey everyone, Anders here with another Black Desert video. Today we had the semi-annual conference for the game where Prolobis goes over what is in store for the future of Black Desert. The event itself is about 2 to 3 hours long, but I wanted to give you a more condensed overview of the event with this video. First, let's start with the announcement of a brand new 300 versus 300 conquest war called War of the Roses. That is 600 players in active combat. This will involve both the Camisylvia and Odolita region that is already in the game. There will be no base building like normal wars, but instead be focused on pure combat. A selected group of guilds are going to make up some of the forces on each faction. You can either fight for the Camisylvian side or the force of Odolita. If you are guildless, you can still sign up and have a chance to be randomly selected to participate. Each side will have one commander in charge of battle tactics and a few advisors underneath them. If you do become a commander, you will have a force that will vary from your own guild members to randomly selected players. This means anyone can join and potentially participate. You as a commander can also assign troop movements and missions to individuals or parties through a new combat map that will display allied troop positioning and movement real time. If players are given missions, they can complete the objective and be rewarded with War of the Roses tokens to use in a new vendor shop we have yet to see. If you die in battle, you can resurrect at your allied castle, and as a commander, once you control enough positions, you can summon things like monster armies. The objective here is to control various points throughout the region and to eventually make your way over to the enemy castle to defeat the enemy leader. Combat will be done mostly on land where most of the objectives reside, but there will also be ocean objectives with control points needing you to use Carracks in active combat. So this new mode, War of the Roses, does away with base building and instead focuses on tactical combat on both land and sea. There are no gear requirements and no gear limit to this war. It's going to take place once every 2 weeks when it comes out. The beta season for War of the Roses will start August 26 in Korea. Now, staying with PvP related updates, Arena of Solare is coming July 19 and will include a variety of maps from the brand new continent Land of the Morning Light. If you're new to the game, don't know what Arena of Solare is, Arena is an equalized 3 versus 3 mode with ranked and unranked modes for you to play. PvP also received some quality of life updates that include a change to the way emergency escape works. That's your V. You will now be able to use this when you suffer a knockdown or stiffness CC, something that was asked for a long time. Thankfully, it's finally here. Emergency escape cooldown will in turn be increased, and you will now be limited from channel swapping and going to character selection while in combat. The Traveler's Map cooldown will also increase. To make CCs more intuitive, to help newer players as well, they will also be introducing an indicator like we have with Protection that shows you what kind of CC is being applied to your opponent and onto yourself. Some of these quality of life changes will go live next week in Korea, while others will be later on in July. Finally, the last piece of PvP news is for the Asia regions. Thailand, Southeast Asia, Macau, Taiwan, Japan, and Korea are all going to participate in a brand new Region Node War Championship where guilds from each region will fight it out on multiple node wars to claim victory over the entire Asia region. The details are still being laid out, but it's going to be equalized gear for the final wars to make things more fair for those outside of Korea, as although nowadays we do have content update parity across all regions on PC, Korea has been around longer, which means they have a higher percentage of highly geared players. Thailand and Southeast Asia will also be introducing cross-server channels, allowing them to merge with one another. Moving on, let's talk about PvE. We have a brand new region announced south of Medaya called Ulu Kita. Ulu Kita is a large region with a fortress that will follow the Medaya storyline and Elezra's story. Elezra is the main villain of the BDO story. Ulu Kita will also have 4 new grind spots. City of the Dead will have hordes of undead monsters for you to fight and will require 300 AP and 400 DP to grind efficiently. Tungrad Ruins will be a similar style of zone, needing 310 AP and 410 DP. And as you can see, these are going to be high gear score areas for endgame veteran players, but they do have the unique theme of being more relaxed in grind. You can actually knock down CC monsters and even utilize your down attack bonuses on them. The other 2 zones that we have not yet heard of will be revealed in time, but will require again 700 total gear score, so 300 AP and 400 DP more than likely to grind efficiently. In this new region, monsters will drop Origin of Dark Hunger, which up until now was an event only item. This item increases your enhancing chance or fail stack up to now 300 you can also now register these items on the market, so if you do not enhance, you can still make money off of these items. There will also be a new treasure item introduced with Ulu Kita, Laffy's Telescope. This item allows you to teleport yourself to a party member or guild member. It is like a reverse Laffy compass. 3 pieces are needed to complete this new item. All of them are going to drop from Ulu Kita grind spots, but one of them can be obtained and crafted beforehand using vodkin pieces, which are very commonly acquired as you try to obtain your Elton piece if you're unlucky in your compass grind. This new region will also have zones coming out in a staggered manner, so not all at once. September is going to be the first grind spot, and then October, and so on. Linked to this new region is also Ator's Shoes, the last of the Fallen God set of armors. This is going to be the best in slot item for the shoe slot. It is set to release in September with the launch of Ulu Kita. Since we talked about treasure items, they also mentioned Infinite Potion is now going to be able to be placed in the family inventory, which means all of your characters can use them without needing to move the item ever again. This will come in August in Korea, and in this video, when I say for Korea, that means Korea, and then global usually gets it a week or 2 later, not too far away. If you were a player that grinded the Infinite Potion multiple times for multiple characters, the extra ones that you have will be converted into slightly weaker versions that you can then sell to the market, so you can get some silver for your excess grind. They said about 10% of Infinite Potion owners in Korea had grinded multiple sets of them. Sticking with treasure items again, Traveler's Map and Treasure Map will have separate cooldowns, something that was asked for a very long time, finally here. This particular update will go live on July 12th in Korea. Other grind spots also got some updates with a new item called Dehkia's Lantern. This item can be obtained from a simple quest, even though it is a treasure item, and it can be used in Ash Forest, Olin's Valley, Thornwood Forest, Tenkuda, and the Cyclops and Calphion. More grind spots will be added in the future. This item creates a small area around the lantern. Monsters in the vicinity will be transformed into hyper elite versions of themselves. For Ash Forest, you will need 310 AP, and for 10 DP, the same items will drop as before, but the trash loot value is increased for these new mobs. Attacks for these elite monsters will also vary, introducing some variety to the grind. The new item also has the effect of instantly reviving monsters you defeat, meaning you can grind one single pack of monsters over and over and don't need to worry about too many people grinding in the same area. They did say that Ash Forest has been expanded and more mob density has been introduced to help with the prior frustrations of not finding a good spot to grind in that area. Olin's Valley is also affected. It's going to require 310 AP and 400 DP, and introduce the Dehkia earring as a loot drop while using the Dehkia lantern. Because of this, they will drastically increase the price of Dehkia accessories on the market to make them more worthwhile to sell if you don't plan to enhance them yourself. Cyclops and Calphion, while not a true grind spot, can still use the Dehkia lantern and will also drop Dawn's earrings as well as high value trash loot. There are some limitations to the Dehkia lantern. It works very similar to Agris. As you kill monsters, the charge meter of the lantern will drop. To refill the meter, you will need to get a new item only obtained by processing yellow accessories. Dehkia lantern will release July 19th in Korea. Continuing on with PvE related updates, Black Shrine, the new boss blitz mode, will be getting a brand new boss, Emogi, next week for all regions. They will also continue to improve on some of the issues with some bosses like Apex and Kumiho, but they wanted to increase the benefits of clearing Calamity 7 as it is currently the hardest difficulty in Black Shrine. First, Dehkia earring drop rates will increase on C7, and you can obtain earrings up to duo enhancement level. Second, whenever someone defeats a boss on C7 difficulty, that server will receive a buff depending on the element of the boss they cleared. If someone clears a C7 Sun Elemental boss, everyone in that server will get 1 AP for 3 hours. If they clear a Moon boss, 1 DP for 3 hours, and Earth bosses will give everyone 20% item drop rate for 3 hours. Again, this will only apply on the server of the C7 clear. Now next up, let's talk about the new Tier 10 Doom Mythical Horse announcement. The last of the mythical horses was finally announced, and it will have a black and blue appearance. The T10 Doom will be the fastest horse on land and will have an ability that will summon 2 identical T10 Doom horses that can be used by your party or your guild. These These clone Doom horses will have 2-seater active as well, and all the mobility skills will be usable. The only thing you can't do is the combat skills. This means owning one T10 Doom will allow you to effectively transport 6 people around. However, this skill does have a 20-minute cooldown, and the cloned T10 Dooms will disappear after 10 minutes. The horse will also have a buff skill that affects up to 10 allies around you, with a 5% movement speed buff for 60 seconds. To make mythical horses easier to obtain, they've made mythical feathers easier to acquire by giving you more per weekly quest, and field bosses will also now drop it, as well as often Tet the world boss. The night vendor will also sell mythical feathers at a chance. The rate of getting a mythical dream horse has always been a fixed 3% chance no matter how many fails you had. Now, every time you fail, the next attempt will have a higher chance, much like normal enhancing, which is a huge update. Training will also receive a new treasure item. If you obtain all 3 mythical dream horses, you will also receive an item called Krogdalo's Stall or Stable. This allows you to summon and swap which mythical dream horse you are currently using at any time from anywhere. So if you reach the water and you need to run through it, you can swap to your mythical Dine, and if you need to glide across from a cliff and fly a little bit, you can swap to your mythical Ardonaut at no cost. When you obtain this item, you will also obtain a permanent yellow title called Cosmic Horse Whisperer. Mythical Ardonaut received some changes. It has been improved to glide for much longer distances than before. Mythical Dine will now run on water for a much longer duration than before as well. All horses will no longer stop running when riding over sloped terrain, which has been an issue for a long time. Finally fixed, that's good to see. The event item received before this FESTA event will be usable next week, and this item will be transformed to allow you to choose one tier 9 dream horse of your choice. You can select either the Ardonaut, Dine, or Doom, and whichever gender you want. These dream horses cannot be sold on the market, but they can be used for a tier 10 mythical dream horse attempt. If you don't want or need a free dream horse, you can obtain 5 mythical sensors instead. Lastly, seasoned characters will now be able to use dream horses from now on, which is a great change. The Mythical Doom will arrive July 12th in Korea, with the event for the free dream horse arriving next week. Console players will also be getting these rewards and will also be getting the T10 Doom horse. Speaking of console, they made a lot of apologies about not being so great with you guys, so Land of the Morning Light content will launch for you July 26th as an apology for the delayed release of Mountain of Eternal Winter and Magnus and many other content updates you still don't have. With this release, you will also get Tier 10 Doom and the function for Abyssal Skills and Universal Storage, which was normally locked behind Magnus, but since Magnus is taking a while, they will introduce it to console players with Land of the Morning Light expansion. Awakening Maegu was shown with a combat trailer, releasing next week on global regions in PC. Tomorrow I will be able to test out this new class and give you my first impressions. She will be a high APM, very fast class focusing on quick combos and a Spirit Forged stance mechanic, using abilities to get into the stance and then enhancing skills while in that Spirit Forged state is the general play of that class. Looks really good. They did confirm she will not have a grapple CC, so if you were hoping for that, that will not be the case. Balance wise, next week, Awakening Ninja, Awakening Kuno, and Succession Nova will be getting buffs confirmed. They showed off one of the revamped Awakening Ninja skills, Suakeo Spree, looks amazing. They also confirmed there will be no new class announcement until Winter Update FESTA event because they want to focus on class balance for the current roster of 26 classes and other quality of life improvements to the game. I think it's a smart move if you were hoping for a new class like Necromancer or Wukong, however. Expect to see something in late November. Great Ocean content got some updates today as well. First, no more currents will exist in the ocean. Currents are no more. Only winds will be the only thing affecting your sailing speed from now on. Level 5 trade good value has increased by 50%. A new sailor type has been added called First Mate. These will be named NPC sailors that will take up more cabin slots, but offer sometimes triple the stats than a normal sailor. Ship calling range has been tripled to help with ships getting stuck on rocks or docks. They will continue to improve ocean quality of life in this regard as well. They know there are some issues with it. New monsters have have been added as well for ocean content. One is a pirate fleet of ships that will surround you. There will be 5 to 10 of them together at a time. And the second one is Void Moretta, a sea harpy that summons Hekaru to fight with her. Not much more is known about these new monsters or what they drop. The Null Treasure item has been improved as well to no longer need stat requirements to use, which is a huge change. And a new guild galley has been introduced. This ship is 3 to 4 times larger than the old galley and has a place in the ship that allows up to 8 players to start a rowing minigame to help the ship go faster. It is not needed to function, but it will help with the speed. These ocean updates will be releasing in August for Korean servers. Moving on to quality of life updates, a new inventory UI for categorizing items has been added. It will work with both normal and pearl items as well as family inventory. It looks very good. A new player novice bag UI was also added to help players confused about item clutter when starting out, not knowing where items should go, if they're useful or not. They're working on reducing the amount of items in the game and consolidating items to make things simpler for newer players. This is huge news for the game. One of the problems I think with long-running MMOs is item bloat. No matter how many tooltips you add, the sheer amount of item bloat is a turn-off for most new players, so I'm glad they are working on this. And this inventory revamp UI will come July 12th in Korea, so only a couple of weeks. A new UI is also being developed for gathering tools, so you can equip items in a separate gear tab and no longer need to manually equip fishing rods, matchlocks, and other gathering tools whenever you just want to gather a life skill. If you have no tools, you will also just be able to gather at a slower rate, and when your tools and rods reach 0 durability, you will still be able to life skill at a slower rate than before. These life skill updates will come to the game in September. Pet levels are being removed, so you no longer need to level pets for faster loot pickup, which is a good change. Node levels for zones are being reworked to be permanent, so even if you unlink the node level remains the same as it was before. You will also be able to mass invest energy into a node without needing to swap characters. This will take some time though. They said it's going to release sometime in the next few months. And lastly, we received a trailer for a brand new summer event called Dragon Palace or Underwater Sea Palace. Looks amazing. This new area will have mini games linked to Korean folklore and a summer theme, obviously. They also introduced a new summer outfit being sold next week on the shop. As for rewards, they gave us 2 codes and a special login event. You will get 4,000 crons, which is a lot of crons, 1 J-Hammer, which is great. Mine went pretty well. Let me know how yours went. 15 Devour Origins, a 150 stack, 2 J's gift, and 3 outfit boxes for free. They closed the event by saying thank you to everyone who's playing the game, showing us 3 new presets we'll be getting to remember the days of BDO in beta from 2016. So Ranger is going to be getting a new preset, Musa will get a new preset, and Tamer will get a new preset. All classes will also get 3 new hairstyles, so 1 for men and 2 for female classes. And that's it for this one. Let me know which announcement you like the most in the comments down below. Remember, everything I talked about in this video is either coming this month or in the next month or 2. This is, in my opinion, the best update Pearl Abyss has ever done. So many new things are coming not too far from now. So many improvements to the game. They're listening to the community. They're humble in knowing there is more work to be done. Everything you want to see. Maybe other Korean developers with way more money than Pearl Abyss can take some notes. Stay tuned for a lot more videos in the coming week, and as always, thanks for watching, thanks for listening. I'll see you all in the next one. Take care.
The Mother Goddess bestows her oracle upon us. The daughters of Sylvia, Ganel and Vidir both shall kneel before my foretold successor, the All-Mother.
Kama Sylvia. Her woods once belonged to us all. It is not by choice that we call Odilita our home. It was a fate forced upon us by the merciless hand of the Ganel. Now is the time to reclaim the woods of our mother.
The Kama Sylve, the final gift bestowed unto us by the goddess. Let they who would seek to harm the divine tree be forever denied entry to these hallowed woods. And may the Vidir know not the forest's embrace, from now until the end of time.